Hello, American Patriots. Douglas Ducote here. Are you like me, sick and tired of watching Democrats continue to escape justice? Hillary Clinton, Loretta Lynch, James Comey, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, the list goes on and on and on of all the Democrats we have watched, not only under the 8 years of Obama, but sadly, under the first term of President Donald J. Trump. One of the things he ran on was Lady Justice wears a blindfold for a reason, and that no one is above the law. Hell, if I had $1 for every time I heard a Democrat say that, I'd be a wealthy-ass person. Because in today's society, if you're in politics and you're a Democrat, you have a free pass. I don't understand it. Well, we watched, sadly, Hillary Rodham Clinton walk away from every charge that she was guilty of. Not only did James Comey lay out all of her federal crimes, but then he chose not to prosecute her, which, by the way, wasn't his decision to make. That would have been up to the DOJ. And of course, sadly, Loretta Lynch would have never done that. There's no way she would have been charged under the Obama administration while they were still in power. But there was that hope that with President Trump coming in, he would put someone in the Department of Justice that would take care of this issue and hold these people's feet to the fire. It never happened. The Durham report's still out there. It should break any moment now. Hopefully, we will actually see the people that are recommended for prosecution, William Barr, the Attorney General, actually prosecute them. Of course, we know that the last report that came out, the Hartswell's report, people were recommended for prosecution and nothing happened. So, Judicial Watch decided, to hell with this. We will sue to get Hillary Clinton to go under oath in a deposition to answer the questions that we now know the FBI did not ask her when she was interviewed on her email server BS that she had going on, that whole scam. The 30,000 deleted emails, the bleach bit, the destroying objects, computer components with hammers. An all-out attempt that worked to deceive you, the American people, and not expose the crimes. We know that they allowed not only her attorneys to be present, but other people that were actually her friends that were part of the Mueller investigation and the FBI investigation. It was absolutely mind-boggling. So, Judicial Watch filed a lawsuit and said, hell with it. We will put her in a deposition. Well, once again, Hillary Clinton walks free. Allow me, please. A federal appeals court overturned an order that would have made former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and her former chief of staff sit for a private deposition about the use of a private email server for government work when she served as the nation's top diplomat. A district court in March had granted conservative watchdog Judicial Watch its request to depose both Clinton and former Chief of Staff Cheryl Mills, to depose them for the topics related to the use of the server. Basic, simple questions that the FBI didn't ask her because they wanted her to become president. The whole coup attempt was going. It was in the works. The case had arisen from the Freedom of Information Act, requests from Judicial Watch to the State Department. Clinton has argued that she has already answered questions about the controversy and should not have to do so again. The matter did not result in any charges for the then presidential candidate in 2016 after a high-profile investigation. But D.C. District Court Judge Roy C. Lamberth said in his ruling that her past responses left much to be desired, meaning that she didn't answer the questions. They weren't asked of her, the important questions that should have been asked of her. Things that just make you go, am I living in a twilight zone here? Judicial Watch had requested to question Clinton and Mills about the 2012 attack on the U.S. consulate in Benghazi, Libya, but was limited to questions related to their knowledge of the existence of emails and documents related to the attack. Judicial Watch, which initiated the case in 2014, is looking for information regarding whether Clinton used her private email server to intentionally get around the Freedom of Information Act, whether the State Department acted in bad faith when they tried to settle the case years ago, and whether the department had adequately looked for records in response to Judicial Watch's initial Freedom of Information request. The appeals court accused the district court of having abused its discretion, having used suspicious of bad faith by the government to open the door to what the appeals court described as far-reaching depositions. The mere suspicion of bad faith on the part of the government cannot be used as a dragnet to authorize discovery that is irrelevant in the remaining issue in the case, the ruling said. The initial focus on Benghazi and expanded with the discovery of Clinton's private email server in 2015. The court noted that the deposition focused on the server and had understand of records management was not related to the initial issue of the FOIA, which, as whether the State Department had conducted an adequate search of records related to talking points to Ambassador Susan Rice as she went on Sunday shows after the attack. Rice said at the time the attack was inspired by anti-Semitic video on YouTube, but it turned out to be false. The district court has impressively ballooned the scope of its inquiry into allegations of bad faith and encompassed and continued to probe of Secretary Clinton's state of mind surrounding actions years before the act. Issue searches were conducted by the State Department, the ruling said. Basically, long story short, the judge decided that the first judge, who agreed that she didn't have to answer any of the important questions, is not going to allow her to face that today. Once again, Hillary Rodham Clinton walks free, while anyone else had done what she did, they would never get out of prison in their lifetime. Sad what has happened to America's justice system. It's disgusting and, well, it's outright un-American. Because Lady Justice wears a blindfold for a reason. No matter your power, no matter your money, no matter your political party, no matter your position, you should be held accountable for your actions. And that's not happening with these Democrats. As always, please say a prayer for our men and women serving the United States military, our veterans, our law enforcement officers, our first responders, their families, our angel families, our blue and gold star families, our president, and our country. Let's pray also that the Durham report holds these people's feet to the fire and that Attorney General William Barr prosecutes them. More to come, my friends. Stay tuned. Hope you all have a wonderful and blessed weekend. And for now, I'm Douglas Ducote, and I'll be seeing you soon.